He was like, well, you the pod boss. Nobody was there. I said, no. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm the pod boss or not. So I'm looking over the tier, and all I see, white boy Steve, he come up with his arm like this. Then he grab dude nuts and squeeze him. Dude like, oh.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to another episode of the Donta Show Network, Story Times, where I tell prison stories, hood stories, and supernatural stories. So the new inmates started coming in. At this time, I didn't have no cellmate at all. So when I seen the white boy go to my cell, I instantly got up and I went to the cell. I was like, yo, you supposed to be in this cell? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. I said, yo, what you in here for? He was like, what you mean? I said, what's your charges? He was like, they told us in reception that we ain't have to tell. I said, hey, listen, I don't care what they told you in reception. Tell me what you in here for. Matter of fact, let me see your paperwork. So he had his paperwork right here under his arm, so I grabbed it, right? So he was like, hey, you can't do that. I said, hey, let me tell you something. In this pod, I'm Jesus. In this cell, I'm God. Don't tell me what I can't do. Then I pushed him, right? And he fell on the bed. He said, hey, man, you can't. I said, you better close your mouth. So he said this. So I'm going through his paperwork. I said, you robbed somebody with a gun? I mean, that's all you have to say, man. We didn't even have to go through all this. He was like, yeah, they just told me. I said, listen, you in prison. You in prison. All that what they telling you in reception and administration and all that, man, that go out the window. You will get killed in here following them rules, man. He was like, yeah, but I'm just saying. I said, listen, do you see any guards in this cell? Do you see the warden out there walking around? It's just me and you and a whole bunch of other dudes that's up in here that'll bust your head. He like, oh, okay. I just don't want to get in trouble. I got 10 years. I just want to do my 10 years. So I said to myself, you know what? Let me be patient with this dude because this is first time here. I know how I was when I first got up in here. So let me go ahead and lace this dude. So I tell him, I'm like, listen, sit down right there. So he sit right there. So I got on the desk. I said, listen, man, there's some things that you got to understand while you up in here, man. What I'm about to tell you is going to save your life. Okay, so listen to me and do everything that I tell you to do. Right? He's like, okay. I said, number one of the main things you do not do is ask another man how much time he got. He like, but you, I said, I know, I asked you, but just listen. So then he was like, okay. I said, another thing you do not do is ask another man what he's in here for. Then he was like, but you, I said, listen, man, listen. I said, another thing you do not do, if somebody offered you something, never take it without knowing or having an understanding why they giving this to you and what you would have to give them back in return. So he was like, yeah, okay, I get that. You know, like if somebody try to give me some candy or honey bun or something, you know, let them know that I can pay it back. I said, yeah, because if you don't do that, then 9 times out of 10, they gonna try to take something from you that you don't want taken. Or they might try to put you in a crazy debt that you will never be able to pay, and basically you'll be their slave. So he said, all right. I said, another thing. Now, in this pod right here, I'm the pod boss. And what that is, don't nothing go down in this pod without my permission. So you ain't got to worry about nobody running up in this cell doing anything to you because they know that they going to have to deal with me. So he was like, oh, okay. I said, another thing, I don't know if you do drugs or anything like that, or you involved in homosexuality or whatever. I don't condone drug use and I don't condone homosexuality. So if you are involved in any of them two things, you got to get up out this cell immediately. So he was like, no, I don't do drugs. I'm not a homosexual. No, I'm straight. I said, all right, cool. I said, and another thing, you gonna get cool with cats, but can't nobody come to my cell. Nobody, absolutely under no circumstances, you cannot have nobody in this cell. So he was like, yeah, I get that. I said, because what happens is, let's say I'm out there on the yard, or let's say I'm at the chow hall, or just out wherever, and you got somebody in this cell and they decide to steal something. He was like, but you the pod boss, nobody was there. I said, no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm the pod boss or not. Dudes is still trying to get over it. That's what you got to understand, man. Nobody has respect for nobody in here. And matter of fact, speaking of respect, the respect is only earned by violence. You gotta be violent. I said, have you ever got into a fist fight before? He said, yeah, plenty of them. I said, okay, we gonna see about that. He was like, wait, I don't want no problem. I said, no, I'm not gonna put my hands on it. I just want to see what you got. So he was like, okay. I said, but just hold on, let me finish telling you. Don't ever have nobody in the cell, because they might take something from me, steal something of mine, and then I gotta hold you accountable, because we have that understanding that nobody's supposed to be in the cell. And if something of mine's come up missing, I only gotta look at you. And if you say, well, I didn't take it, so-and-so was in the cell, maybe he did it. Now you see how this go? He like, yeah, okay, I get that. I said, another thing, since you are my cellmate, dudes ain't really gonna press you like that, because they like, okay, well, he in the cell with Dante, so, you know, we don't want them issues with Dante. So just off the strength of you being in the cell with me, you good in a way. So he like, okay. I said, another thing, when you got to take a shower every day. It ain't no buts at all about it. You have to take a shower. It's mandatory. And you got to brush your teeth too. Matter of fact, here goes some Colgate. See, what they do, they give you a care package when you come to prison. They give you like 2 towels, with 2 washcloths, 2 big towels. They give you this toe-up deodorant. They give you this toothpaste that tastes like garbage. I don't even know if that's toothpaste, right? They just give you all a little assortment of things, right? A toothbrush, a spork, and a cup, right? Plastic cup. So I hit him with some Colgate, and I said, remember, now, since you my bunkie, you good. If I give you something, don't worry about it, okay? So you being my cellmate, I ain't gonna let you starve or nothing. And if I do give you something, I'm gonna let you know, oh, this off of love, or, you gonna have to pay me back or whatever. So he was like, okay, I respect that. I said, another thing is that, don't be in here gossiping. It's a lot, believe it or not, it's a lot of dudes in here that ain't got nothing to do, and they just run their mouth all day, every day, being in people's business. And then when they get back to that person who they was gossiping about, it get real tricky. So don't be in here talking about somebody behind their back thinking that they ain't gonna get back to them. Because there's dudes that'll bait you into a conversation about something, and then they'll snitch on you and tell on you like, yo, blah, blah, blah said, blah, 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 blah. Now you got a whole issue, right? He said, okay, I get that. I said, another thing, don't be all up in the guards' faces. Don't be all trying to hold conversation with guards, because a couple reasons why. Let's say everybody see you always talking to the guard, and let's say a shakedown end up happening, and dudes get caught up and jammed up. Who do you think they gonna look at? They gonna look right at you. They gonna be like, well, Steven always over there talking to the guards, always smiling in the guard's face. So of course he had to be the one that's ratted us out, right? So don't be, if you gotta talk to the guards, whatever, do it in plain sight in front of everybody, but don't make it an everyday occurrence. And then I was like, I gotta get ready to go. I gotta go holler at my people on the yard. So he was like, okay. And I said, another thing, don't join no gang, okay? Do not join no gang, but, we'll discuss that later. So he's like, all right. So I leave out the cell, right? As I'm coming down the stairs, this dude, this older black dude that worked in the kitchen. Now, he usually bring stuff back from the kitchen. He smuggled things back. So like sandwiches, onions, potatoes, bread, whatever you can think of, he can bring back here, right? So as I'm coming down, he coming up, he like, hey, Dante, I got some chicken sandwiches. I said, no, I'm good, man. I'm straight. He was like, okay, bet. So my bunkie, he comes out and he's like, you got chicken sandwiches? He like, yeah, I got chicken sandwiches. He was like, yo, can I get one? He was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you know, you're going to have to give me 3 soups for it. He like, 3 soups? He was like, yeah, 3 soups. So he was like, man, I ain't got it. I'll get to you on store day. So dude looked at me, was like, is he good for it? I was like, I don't know. I just met him. So he was like, well, I guess so. Here you go. 3 soups, right? So he gave it to him, right? So I'm walking down the stairs and I'm about to leave out. And then a code got called and the alarm started blaring. I guess somebody just got beat up on the yard or whatever. So they locked down all the pods. So that means I can't go nowhere, right? So I go back upstairs and I'm sitting on the bed and, you know, white boy Steve, and he got the sandwich in his hand and he just looking at it crazy. I'm like, what's up? So, is some hair in it or something? He was like, actually, yeah, something don't look right with this sandwich. So I'm like, what you mean something don't look right? He was like, look at this. So I'm looking at it and, you know, you can tell the difference between a strain of hair and pubic hair. So basically this dude, how he's supposed to wrap his sandwiches up from when he take them from the kitchen or whatever. You're supposed to basically put them in their own individual Ziploc bags and then, well, sandwich bags, you know, the little baggies or whatever, and then put it in a sandwich bag and then, you know, put it on your leg or whatever, attach it to your leg or whatever. Or you can get all the sandwiches and put it in a sandwich bag, you know, a bread bag or whatever, a bread bag, and then, you know, smash it up as best you can and attach it to your leg. The way that this sandwich looked, it looked like, because it was a couple strands of hair all through the sandwich, right? So you can see like pubic hairs on the outside of the bread. So I'm like, yo, let me see that sandwich, man. So I get the sandwich in my hand and I'm looking at it. I was like, yeah, he ain't properly packaged this right at all, man. He must have just grabbed the sandwich and just put it raw right there by his genital area, man. Nah. He was like, so what should I do? I said, take this sandwich to him and tell him like you ain't going for it. You ain't giving him nothing. Here go the sandwich back. So he was like, but what if he try to fight me? I was like, well, y'all just gonna have to bang it out. He was like, but I said, listen, you in prison. That ain't how things work. In violence, people respect violence in prison. So you going telling him like, listen, here's some more advice for you. If you ever have an issue with somebody and you are not willing to take it all the way there, and when I say all the way there, I mean eventually it could come out to you taking a life. You never know what the other man is capable of doing or how far he's willing to go with it. So if you have a discrepancy with somebody, yes, you have to address it. Because homeboy knew the way that he packaged that chicken sandwich, that it was foul. And he knew that he wasn't going to get that off of nobody else. But it is prison. It is what it is. So I told him, like, you got to say something to him, because he might was even testing you to see how far that he could go with it. Because maybe it's pubic hair on the sandwich now and then. Lord forbid he corner you in the shower and want to do something to you. You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, you got to go check that right now. Go give him back the sandwich. Be like, yo, it's pubic hairs on this thing and I'm not with it. So he said, okay, all right, I'm going to go. So he get up. I follow him out, right? Now, we on the second tier. Dude is down there talking to somebody. So he go down there. He looking back at me like this, right? So he go up to her. He said, "Hey, can I talk to you right quick?" And he got the chicken sandwich in his hand. So dude like, "Yeah, what's up?" He was like, "Well, can I talk to you over here? Because I don't really want everybody to hear what's going on." He was like, "No, man, what's up, man? Well, you can talk to me. What's up?" He was like, "I think we should really talk over here." But he kept looking back this way like he wanted me to co-sign what he was doing. So I'm just standing there looking down. So dude look at him, looking at me. So he was like, all right. So they go over here, right? He like, "Hey, so I talked to Dante and he said like the sandwich wasn't right." So he like, "What you mean?" Dante said the sandwich, it wasn't right. He was like, "Well, Dante said that, that you didn't package this chicken sandwich right. It's like it's hair on it." And he was like, "What you mean hair on it?" He was like, "Yeah, it's like pubic hairs on it." He was like, "Man, hey, look, I don't know what you want, but you better have my soups. You better have my soups, bro, because all sales is final. You should have checked the sandwich out before we even did the exchange." He was like, "Man, no, man, for real. I can't give you nothing. I'm not giving you no suits." He was like, "What you mean you ain't giving me no suits, white boy?" He was like, "Hey, man, listen, I don't want no problems." He was like, "What? You don't want no what?" Boom, right? He punched white boy Steven right in the face. White boy Steven. Now, what I seen at the angle that I saw, white boy Steven like stumbled this way, and dude like grabbed him right here by his collar right here and grabbed him back. Was like, right? But I also see, now I'm looking over the tier, seeing what's going on under the stair. So I hurry up and jog down the stairs, whatever, and I'm watching the whole thing unfold. At this time, y'all, I don't know if white boy Steve did this out of fear. I don't know if white boy Steve just felt like, I don't know, what they say, fight or flight. But as dude punching Steve, like Steve is on his knees, right? And Steve is trying to fight back. Steve is like punching upward, right? But dude clocking him like, right? White boy Steve, his right hand reaches up just like this, y'all, and grabs dude nuts and go like this. Dude like, oh, let me go. And he punching on Steve, and Steve won't let him go, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. There's no rules in fighting. There's no rules in fighting at all. People say, "Oh, y'all gotta line it up. Y'all gotta go fist to fist. Y'all gotta box it out. No kicking, no grabbing, no slamming. If a man fall, you gotta let him." Nah. This is the penitentiary. The penitentiary. Let me tell y'all something. It ain't nothing cool. There's nothing cool about getting beat up honorable in prison. And y'all gotta forgive me. I got a stuffy nose. There's nothing honorable about getting beat up in prison. You do what you got to do to get that man up off you. If you got to scratch, claw, bite, poke, kick, whatever you got to do to get a man up off you, do that, okay? Even if you got to, look, I'm a dirty fighter, period. And one of my moves is, you talking to me crazy, I'll poke you dead in your eyes. Bam. Now you blind. Oh. And I'm just tagging you. Bow, boom, boom. Elbow, bow, bow. So, like I said, y'all, there's no rules of fighting. So, white boy Steve grabbed homie nuts. It's like, he won't let him go, right? So now, one of the guards see what's going on. I instantly pedal back. I move back. Guard come on and let him go. No, I ain't letting him go. This white boy Steve said, dude, y'all remember that scene on Friday After Next when Money Mike grabbed Damien with the pliers of the vice grips? Just like that. Dude was like, please, just let me go. But he kept trying to hit him, but it wasn't phasing white boy Steve. White boy Steve went to ultra, right? He wasn't letting dude go. Dude's like, please, just let me go. Just please let me go, right? So then the guards eventually broke them up, and they ended up taking Steve to the hole, and they ended up taking dude to the infirmary. Now, rumors have it, and I say rumors because I don't know if it's true. And y'all know men gossip like women in prison. But rumors have it that white boy Steve, now y'all look this up yourselves. I don't know for this to be true. But I heard that white boy Steve literally crushed dude ball sack. Like, listen, I remember my homeboy Al oldest sister, me and her was wrestling, and for some reason she need me in my ball sack, right? I curled up on the ground like a baby, and I just said, God, please take me. Take me, Lord. I don't want to be here no more because I was in such pain. There's no rules in fighting. If you got to grab a man nutsack to get him up off you, do that. Dante give you full permission. Because at the end of the day, you got to make it home. At the end of the day, you got to get up out of there. And well, if you got to grab a man where the sun don't shine, if you got to grab a man's people jewels to get up out that situation, then hey, who am I to tell you what to do? I always tell y'all, I can't tell another man how to program. All right? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a tip. And with that, y'all, I'll see y'all for the next story time. If you looking to rock the latest gear, look no further. Sobe Sporty Gear is in full effect. You got a hot date tonight? Don't know what to wear? Well, click the link in the comment section to Sobe Sporty merch store. Be sure to enter Dante as the promo code so you can get 50% off your purchase. If you need your business, products, or your social media channels promoted, make sure you shoot me a text at this number. My channel get over 5 million views per month, so that's a lot of eyes on your promotion. If you forgot to hit that like button, make sure you smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Be sure to get your Military Mind Games merch. The link will be pinned in the comment section.